And greetings everybody, welcome back to Rebuilding the Commonwealth with myself. Have you missed me this weekend? Of course you've missed me this weekend, I know you do. Come on, I love you guys too. I love you guys. Yes, here we are at Croup Manor. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe because we are rebuilding the Commonwealth. We are making it absolutely amazing. And a lot of it is down to you guys. So, yeah, thank you very much for 500 subscribers, by the way. This is a milestone I never thought I would achieve by building shit in Fallout. So, fantastic. Let's keep going. Let's go for that 1,000 mark, guys. Keep it up. Keep up your support. Every comment makes the difference. Hey. Oh, dear. And you guys have been killing it with comments and ideas. And believe me, I'm going to give a shout out to literally every single one of them, probably in the 100 episode special, which is coming up. I think we're on episode 93 now. Well, this is going to be 94, but you know what I mean. So we're nearly there. You guys are going to get a world tour at 100. Fantastic stuff. But yeah, you're probably wondering what these mannequins are. Now, let me just warn you, this is probably not going to be too much of a buildy episode. This is going to be some long overdue settlement admin. Because you guys have had some seriously good ideas for Minuteman names and some lore. And I think it's worth highlighting some of these because the level of creativity you guys went into for this is absolutely incredible. So, yeah, let's get started. So this is one of our Quincy Remnants, as you can see. He's got his Minuteman logo. The only reason people identify him as a Minuteman is because of the beret, which he doesn't want to wear, but he kind of has to. Otherwise, he's going to get shot by his own people, especially because he's wearing gunner get-ups. And the Minuteman logo on his chest is probably one of his saving graces, especially as on the side he has a gunner logo. He's also got a backpack, which is full of combat gear. Oh yes. Now you can probably suggest what his name is going to be from here. Oh, he's got two backpacks, fair enough. Right, let's take all of this off of him. And we're going to go and set him up. Now I've already created some weapons for him. And I'm using the backstory. Now, I think the best Minuteman for this will be the one stood up here.
Can we trade a few things? Sure thing.
Fantastic. So we're going to transfer all of Kale's equipment here. And we're going to take away his stuff he just does not need. You don't need any of this. You're certainly not using a laser musket, I can tell you that for nothing. So he's got military fatigues. He's got a scarf with bandana and jet black. The right arm... Why did I just click that and get rid of it? Didn't mean to do that. Meant to equip it. His left arm, and that is camouflage. They're digital and wasteland. He's got a set of gloves. These ones are slightly different. Yeah, these gloves have got the fingertips trimmed. He's the only Minuteman ever to have that.
Let's trade. Okay.
Now, his weapons are also specialised. He's got what's called Gunner's Whisper, which is an L96A1, which is a pretty damn powerful 50 cal L96. This thing sounds absolutely beastly. Let me demonstrate here for you. That does sound like I'm absolutely drilling shells into people, so this is his weapon.
I just need to trade gear with you. Of course.
So we'll give him Gunner's Whisper. And we're going to give him the 50 cal rounds to go with it. And of course he has a handgun, his own specialist, which is Kale's Kneecapper, which as you can tell has the correct legendary. Gunner's Whisper has Hitman, a Hitman specialist, because this guy is somewhat of a hitman. So let's give him this. Kale's Kneecapper is just a 10mm. Now the story behind this guy, as you are probably like, wow, this guy's fearsome. I mean, I wouldn't fuck with him, would you? I said the only reason people know he's a Minuteman is because of the logos on him. So, this gentleman here, he wasn't specified a rank, which is completely understandable. So we're going to give him the one of Sergeant, because he's definitely earned it. Christopher Kale. Now, yes, I am well aware that this is a bit of a play on Chris Kyle from American Sniper. I get that. But this was suggested by a lovely user by the name of, quite fittingly, Minuteman Medic. I'm a big fan of your name because anyone who is a friend of the Minuteman is a friend of me, after all. Oops, sorry. Now, Christopher Kale here used to be a gunner, hence why he still wears the gunner get-up. He trained in Vault 75, I believe that's the gunner's Vault 75, and he scored well over 95 in all of his evaluations. This guy was the best of the best. This person could shoot the eyelashes off a fly at pretty much any range. His precision was unmatched. He's one of the very best the gunner's ever had. I say had. He was very good at clearing out entire Minutemen teams. He was stealthy. He got known as the Whisper by the Minutemen, and indeed Raiders and the Forged. Nobody really knew Kale was there until they saw his handiwork with his nice suppressed P99. But he was eventually summoned in 2282 to come and destroy Quincy with the gunners and take the Minutemen out of the fight for good. Normally this wouldn't be a problem until he learned that the presence of women and children were there, and Clint's shoot to kill orders deeply disturbed him, especially to shoot innocent people like that, and he refused to follow them. He was eventually shot in both of his kneecaps, and he was used as an example to other gunners that no matter how respected and how good you are expendable if you don't follow orders. So they shot him in both the kneecaps and they left him to bleed there in the swamp while they went to fight in Quincy. Though he was strictly against the use of drugs, the only thing that got him through the battle was his use of some Med-X that he found. The painkiller was just enough for him to drag himself nearly 2 miles across the coast until he was found by a Minuteman team near the Warwick homestead, who eventually grabbed him and rescued him after they'd fled from Quincy. He originally thought the Minutemen were going to kill him because they did recognise him, but after he so passionately disavowed the gunners, they decided to treat him and support him. He did not disappoint. He found a new respect for the Minutemen after being saved, and personally went out and slain his former colonel for his rifle, which is now what he carries, the L96. And he uses this to surgically delete his former unit from a distance. However, he still feels quite guilty about his former allegiances and his assaults against the Minutemen. So instead of integrating, which he would be more than welcome to do, joining the Minutemen's regular units, he doesn't feel like he's worth that. At least not yet. Maybe one day he'll come to peace with himself, and he will eventually find himself a place here. But while he still fights with his inner demons and his guilt, he stays with the Remnants. He's doing his job, but he doesn't feel like he deserves a place with the regulars. despite the fact that he does, and he's been offered one plenty of times. So that is Sniper Christopher Kale. And as you can see, I gave him a backpack with an extra rifle on it too. This guy, you don't mess with him. He will surgically delete you from the highway overpass. He seriously doesn't like the people who took over Quincy, and one day he will find his way back and brutally kill all of them. So, Minuteman Medic, thank you very much for your suggestion there. That was a really, really good one. And welcome to the Remnants. Now, we have one more to put in. And I believe that is the person who is on night duty. Yes, it is. Let me go and grab his equipment while we're here. I originally wanted this guy to be a missile man, and I decided against it after hearing about this story suggested from one of my followers, who I will tell you about shortly. This guy is quite a minimalist. I need to give this gun a cool name. He does, however, have this lovely tactical Desert Eagle. Sounds epic, doesn't it? Gold-plated, red dot, with a laser on it. Fires a 50 cal, of course, because why wouldn't it? This can go away now. Now, this is only going to be called the Lucky Bastard. Yeah, it's because my bind key for the workshop is exactly the same. And this one is Ludenfield's Dodge from Death. There's a very good reason we've called it that, and we'll go through that shortly. Excellent. Now we're going to have to sleep into the night in order to pick up this particular soldier. Oh, bear with me a second, guys. Sorry. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Right. Let's sleep into the night and get our second remnant here. Oh, hello. Okay. Once more. I think we've lost one of the remnants. Nah, he can't be... No, he's not during the day. He's the night shift guy. I think we're going to have to go and look for him. Okay, that's one of the provisioners. That is a standard guard. Snapper. He's going to be at the bar at the back, isn't he? Nope. Nope, he's not.
Yeah.
I don't remember where you're supposed to be from. Okay, so not up here either. Let's just skip into the night even further. You never know. I mean, the guy isn't exactly difficult to see. He stands out like a sore thumb. Yeah, after we've named this particular remnant, there's only 3 more to go, and all 3 of them are women. So, Yeah, we need some female names. Alright, I think we've lost this guy. He's moved somewhere and I can't find him. Bear with me, I'm going to skip forward to the day and see if we can find him. Alright, I found him. The lazy fucker was sleeping.
I want to trade a few things.
Or at least he is now.
Go ahead.
Okay, excellent. So again, let's take all this rubbish off of him. I gave him this missile launcher because I thought he was going to be like a explodey guy, but it turns out I'm wrong. He's got the Colonial Duster. Wow, this guy has got a lot of stuff on him. He doesn't need that either. All he needs is his schedule. I think it's the leather right arm. Yes,
I
it
just
is.
want to trade a few things.
Oh, don't go back to bed, you lazy bastard. Get out of bed. Ugh. Come on, Sleeping Beauty, get up. I'm not done with you yet.
Of course.
Fantastic. Okay. So again, he's got his dodge from death. And he's got his lucky bastard 50 cal. So he needs a 50 and a 5.56. 5.56 and a 50 cal. Dodge from death. Nice. Now I think I had a few more bits of apparel to give him. He is taking the militia hat. I think it was this scarf. Yes, it was. And a traveller's backpack. Cool. And this gentleman here is called Lieutenant Brigadier. Ryan Black. Oh, actually, I'm not sure I can do that, but we'll see. Blackjack Ludenfield. Yeah, I can't put the quotation marks, so we'll just leave them out. So, Rian Blackjack Ludenfield. It's a very good reason he's called that. He's also known as the luckiest son of a bitch alive. So, without intentionally doing so, Ludenfield has survived the shot from a 308 caliber round, so that is basically an M1 Garand. He survived that because he just placed his magazine back in the pouch during a reload. The 4 bullets that he had left in that magazine shattered and split the bullet just enough not to get injured from the round. All he saw was just an explosion against his jacket, and pieces of lead went everywhere. But nothing injured him, surprisingly enough. He once got dealt 7 blackjacks in a row while in New Vegas, where he originally comes from. 7 blackjacks in a row, 14 picture cards after shuffling. Considering there's only 24 picture cards, I believe, in a standard 6 deck shoe. So he managed to get almost every picture card out in 7 rounds. 14 picture cards, 7 blackjacks. And he's famously been expelled from every casino in New Vegas, forcing him to find success elsewhere. He even managed to convince an NCR Ranger, he was from a nearby squad, and they somehow believed him and gave him one of their service rifles to get him started at age 17, which he took with him, which he has hidden around his quarters here. He actually once took a vigor tester check and managed to score 22 out of 10. So this guy is built different, as they say. He only survived the Battle of Quincy after becoming a Minuteman because the gunner Rocketeers miscalculated and all of them managed to fire 1 foot too high, and the chaos from all the explosions and his squad mates being killed allowed him to escape. Now, given that his luck is so high, he's not a trained engineer. He never has been. In fact, he's never really enjoyed engineering, but somehow he makes everything he touches work. It just somehow works. He moves it, he fixes it. It just works. It's a bit like this game, Todd Howard. It just works. So because of him, he's the one who powers the entire camp. Lieutenant Brigadier is actually a rank in the old Minuteman system before they went over to the new 11 rank system that we have today. But they decided just to retain his rank from before. He doesn't fit in the structure, but he retains his rank, which comes with quite a lot of prestige in itself. So yeah, he's the one who keeps the camp powered. Now you're probably wondering why the get up. Well, Ludenfield over here, he's not a fan of the new dress code. He's not a fan of the new uniforms. He doesn't like these fancy pants helmets and the webbing and the rigging and the backpacks and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't like it very much. He doesn't think it fits with the aesthetic of the old Minuteman, the old ways. The way that they used to do things back before Quincy. So instead of adopting them, he's just simply carried over the colonial duster which he used to wear, and he's just padded it out with a little bit of extra leather armour just for his own sake. And he decided not to go for a helmet. He stuck with the militia hat to keep the traditional ways alive. He somehow found his way back to the Quincy Remnants after meeting them after the massacre. He got away. So did some of his colleagues. Not very many of them, admittedly, but he recently linked up with quite a few of them over here in the east. He found a few camping out overnight, wondering what the fuck they were going to do. And eventually they found their way here to Croot Manor, and they realised the Minutemen were rebuilding. He's happy to have a home over his head, even if it is just a couple of metal sheets and some wooden bars, but it's home. He's got himself a generator, he's got himself his keys, his diary entries, his cap stash, at least some of his caps. Quite a lot of the ones he won at the casino, well, he doesn't have those anymore. He left them behind in Quincy, unfortunately. But that's there's still time. There's still time to swindle some of the settlers. General O'Banion has warned him not to do it, but truth be damned, he's going to try it anyway. He's the one who put together this generator using nothing but crappy pieces of scrap metal, a few car engines that he found, and a little bit of wiring that he scavenged from these nearby vehicles that he smashed up. But he's the one who keeps the place powered, at least the camp. He hasn't done anything with the main base because no one's built it yet. But this is our third remnant. So at the moment we've got Corporal Phoenix Donahue. We have Sergeant Christopher Cale up here, the feared gunner exile turned Minuteman hero. And now we have Lieutenant Brigadier Rian Blackjack Ludenfield. So those are the 3 male remnants. Don't worry, if your name didn't make it into the remnants, I won't just give them to any old ordinary Minutemen, but I will give every suggestion a shout out in the World Tour video at 100. I will compile a list of all those comments and I will feature all of you. So again, if you've got Minuteman name suggestions, please drop them, because I love to see them, love to read them, and I will always respond to them as much as I can. Now, the reason I've stuck with doing a simple naming and lore-based episode here, if you want to know the ugly truth, there's a reason all these mannequins have moved. And that is because I desperately tried to set out the layout for the rich house on this side of the settlement, and fuck me if I spent 4 hours messing around and completely and utterly screwing the build up and making it look stupid. That's the British way of saying stupid, by the way. Stupid! Stupid! Because it has to have lots of S's, C's and H's and loads of them just intermingled together to make stupid. Anyway, enough about that. So yeah, that's why we've got more of a lore-based episode. That, and I was kind of building up a backlog of names that I hadn't used, and I kind of felt guilty. I didn't want you guys to think that I was neglecting you, which I'm not. I thought he was T-posing for a second there. Okay, and now we have a couple of police officer name suggestions, which I will go through now. Okay, so up here in the office we have this lady here. Now, this is a police sergeant. So it's going to be PSGT, police sergeant. And it is here somewhere, that's it. So that is Erica McGann. Now, if that sounds familiar, it should be. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I actually just completely glossed over this. The person who suggested the name for Blackjack Ludenfield is a user by the name of ED-B. So EDB, thank you very much for that. I'm sorry I didn't actually mention that earlier. I don't want you to feel like I'm stealing your thunder. I'm definitely not. But that was a really cool suggestion, and I love the comic behind it. That is one I could genuinely write a novel about, because someone who tests 22 in luck is going to be seriously comical in his travels across the wasteland. So I'm definitely going to do a wrap-up of him at some point. I say, who knows, maybe if I ever make a Patreon I can write novels for you guys. But hey. So, this person here, Police Sergeant Erica McGann. Now, Erica McGann should ring a bell, because the person who lay dead in the castle in the underground tunnels was General McGann. General Alan McGann, as suggested by Megan Frank. Thank you very much for your suggestion. So, during the early days, Alan McGann, General, met a lovely woman called Olivia. And as he went on to become a general, they both shared some very good success in their endeavours. They became Minutemen. Well, he did. And as you know, the rest is history. The guy moved up the ranks. He became the general. A general during desperate times, unfortunately. He met his demise when the elements took over the castle. He was left with nowhere to go and eventually perished in the castle, which left Olivia pregnant with twins and no husband to look after her, no one to watch her back. So she eventually moved to Diamond City out of desperation. There in Diamond City, she gave birth to the twins, Erica McGann being one, and Alan McGann Jr., who I will name in just 1 second. Now she raised them through Diamond City as she got older. She taught them basic things. She taught them the history.
Just looking to trade a little.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. She taught them all about the history of the Minutemen and the legacy left behind by General McGann. He didn't achieve much during his reign as the general, but he did a decent job. Eventually, though, as they got older, they signed up to the Minutemen, and they became police officers. As you know, Crook Manor is being rebuilt. This is Inspector Alan McGann Jr. Now, given their prestige in the family as General McGann's family. Although they still had to prove themselves, they certainly did that. So eventually they became them because they're well versed in internal affairs. They know what the Minutemen can and can't do. They know how a Minuteman should and shouldn't behave. Excuse me. They know how a Minuteman should and shouldn't behave. So using that knowledge, they would make perfect fits for police officers. So Alan McGann Jr. decided to become an officer. He was very good at it. He became the inspector. He looks after the team during the daytime, and the night as well. And his twin sister works here as the sergeant, the acting night sergeant, Erica McGann. I mean, they don't talk to each other too much because they're on different shifts, but it's a job they love doing. So both together, they eventually found their sense of place here in the Minutemen. And they're honouring their father every day. They've earned a lot of respect, and even their name commands a lot of respect, just having the McGann surname. So there we have it. That's 2 of our police officers named. And believe me, we have a couple more, thanks to you guys. But bear with me just a second. Excellent. Good, sort something out just there. Okay, so we have our 2 police officers, Inspector Alan McGann and his twin sister Erica McGann. I do like the fact that they're both like grey-haired and such, so they both could technically pass as twins. So that's all good. So this soldier out here, a name suggested by Megan Frank again. That's my girl coming in clutch with another name. This is set name. And this is going to be Private Specialist First Class, Kaylee Wheeler. Both of her, well, all 4 of her grandparents used to be in the military, but that was even before the Minutemen were a thing. Some of them survived through some of the darkest days during the nuclear winter. So they trained in some of the harshest conditions, brought a lot of pride to the family. So when she grew up, joining the Minutemen was the best thing for her. She joined the Minutemen, and every day she's doing her duty. She's making her grandparents proud wherever they may be right now.
Hello, sir.
She was thrilled to have finished her training as a sniper and for joining the coveted infantry battalion. Excellent stuff. So, Kaylee Wheeler. And we do have one more to name.
People have been complaining a bit about the bed situation.
Do I look like I give a fuck? No. Seriously, if you guys actually want me to write proper bios for my soldiers, please let me know, because I think that would be kind of cool. I'll say, maybe one day if Patreon ever becomes a thing. So I used to freelance. I used to freelance a lot. I used to write books. I used to write like non-fiction stuff. I wrote novels. I wrote, I think it was an 80,000 word novel for somebody, and I think they paid me, I think it was $1,500. That was a lot of work, but in hindsight, I probably should have raised my price. But yeah, I used to be a freelancer, and I love writing stuff. I have novels waiting to be published if I ever get round to finishing them. So if I had the chance to write all the lore here just for you guys as entertainment, then you best bet that's exactly what I'd want to do. And my phone is going off when I really shouldn't let it go off. Okay, and I think this soldier up in the bar is only here during the night, so I'd better sleep until the middle of the night, and hopefully she will appear. Come on. You can tell this place is getting detailed. There she is. Now this soldier here. Now this soldier has some very rich back history. So, I have a big thank you to say to the person who suggested this person. So this is a sergeant, as she's wearing the Combat 3 helmet. So this will be Sergeant Evelyn Mars. So, big thank you to The Martian for recommending this soldier. Evelyn Mars here was born in Quincy in 2263. So that is 27 years before now. Because I think it's 2290 canonically. Yes, it is. 2290. We're almost in 2291, actually. So yeah, born 27 years ago. Her father, Joseph Mars, was 43 when he joined the Minutemen in 2281, 9 years ago. She loved the pride and she loved the historical significance and the undertones for the Minutemen. She loved the fact that their history was woven into the ancient history, that is, of this country. Eventually, her grandfather, who was an old school, he was a very old school, old guard Minuteman, Abraham Mars, his name was. He was found dead in the Boston ruins after, conducting a mission for the Minutemen, trying to find some much-needed supplies and go on a scavenging run. No one really knows how he was shot dead. They don't know if it was the gunners, raiders, any of the gangs that are hanging around, or even just a drifter who just happened to shoot the wrong person. Nobody knows. Yeah. In 2282, the massacre of Quincy. Her and her mother managed to flee, but her father, Joseph, he was never found. He stayed behind to fight, as he was a Minuteman. But to the age of 43, he probably succumbed to the stronger and younger gunners who were in their prime at the time. So, well, he was 44 at that point. But her and her mother Marge managed to flee Quincy. They got away. Her faith in the Minutemen wavered. The flag that she used to carry was left to rot in the wasteland when she ditched it as in a fit of rage, a fit of despair. They eventually found a farmstead to live upon. She had to spend a few years there as her mother eventually got more and more ill and eventually succumbed to old age in 2285, right before O'Banion was awoken from cryo-sleep. She drifted west into New Vegas in search of a sense of place. When she heard about the NCR, I thought she could pledge allegiance to the NCR, who weren't likely to fall or crumble, to break like the Minutemen did at Quincy. But she failed to make waves. The NCR didn't want her. The NCR were looking inwards at their own kind of internal politics and their issues and their fragmented selves. But when word of General O'Banion hit west, she knew she was onto something. If the voice of the Minutemen could go as far as New Vegas, something was definitely happening, which she wanted to be a part of. She moved back, and she was still skeptical of the Minutemen. She wondered what exactly they could be doing that was so different. But when she saw that General O'Banion was achieving much more than General McGann and all the others beforehand, she was impressed. She liked her. She thought maybe this is actually something I should be a part of. She did well to impress both O'Banion and proved herself to Preston Garvey, the other commander at the castle, even seeking him out just to see whether she could pledge her services. This was well received by Garvey. And eventually, she was made a sergeant in 2290 and stationed here at Crew Manor. And she's very happy to be here. She's very happy to serve the cause that she had faith in all those years ago, and now to have her faith back. So thank you very much for the Martian's name there. So the Martian, thank you very much. Remember, guys, if you've got name suggestions, keep them coming because I love them. I love these names. I love hearing your suggestions. I love reading them. I love reading all your comments. So, we've probably got about another 20 minutes or so. So I think we're going to go and do a little bit of personality and a little bit of decorating. Or we can try and draft the rich house. Now, you can see this thing sticking out here. Honestly, this was a really bad failed attempt at trying to create a framework. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Oops. I can tell the lighting wasn't quite fixed on that. Right, so let's move these chem stations and all that out of the way. That's it. Now, I like the idea of having an alleyway between the two properties here. At least something that people don't have to go through the shop or they have to go through the building. Because if everyone here is clocked off for the night, they're probably canonically going to lock the door. They don't want people trampling through here while everyone's gone up to sleep or whatever. So there needs to be another way to get round to the bar at the back of the building here. So under Snappy Builds, we're going to go to the Deco Kits. And I think it's Lobby B. Nope, it's not going to be Lobby B. It's this one. Now I'm going to go with this one again. Oh, that's okay, it is the correct one. So I'm going to put this back along here. I want it not to intersect the balconies here. Oops-a-daisy. That's it. So I mean, this bit in the middle here looks at least relatively natural. Fine, so we've got this alleyway. Now I want a half tile like this. Now this half tile, oh, hello. I want to place this half tile just here. I think that will be fine. Now I had toyed with the idea of messing around with this huge hotel kit, because this hotel kit looks amazing. The problem is the size of the tiles is just too big for the area that we have to work with. So that is a plan that we are not going to be able to fulfill, unfortunately. So we're going to go with the original strategy, which was, if I can for the life of me remember it, it is a shell kit, isn't it? Am I just being an idiot here? I think I am. Yeah, it's Deco Main, of course it is. And we have this church stone. Now, church stone here, I do quite like it. I think the church stone looks much smarter than the brick. Really sets it apart. And it can have an entrance here, so it can have two entrances, really. Now this will need some columns, I think. So I'm going to place a few columns just here. Now the thing is, I want a little indent between the two buildings here. I don't want these plugs, not at all, not yet anyway. I say all of these are the same as what we have over there, but we're going to present them in a much smarter manner. I think we're going to have to stick with columns, we're going to have to make it work. So in these columns, I believe I can shuffle that across like so. I think we're going to have to do a couple of these. Yeah, so this... Actually, no, I don't think we do, actually. Now, this part here is probably going to be a reception room. So we want something that looks kind of smart on the ground floor here. Do we have any nice windows? I mean, these are all cracked and broken. Then again, most of this probably will look that way anyhow. Okay, so that's going to probably need another filler. So I was wrong. We'll probably need another one. Unless I made a... Unless I made an amalgamation here. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I would put one of these in. Problem is, look how fucking big these are. I mean, even these are... They're just too big. They're just way too big. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't think it's much in keeping with the style that we have here. I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm going to roll with it for now. I can always replace it later if we don't like it. Okay, so that is a disgusting looking window. Actually, if we had a plug there, was that one of those plugs a window by any chance? That's a wide angle. Caps. Okay, so these inserts are just standard brick. Tall archways. I don't think we're going to be able to put a window in that, as much as I would like to. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Because in a perfect world, I'd make a really nice lobby out of this, which looks fantastic. But hey, it's not a perfect world, and I appreciate it probably never will be. Now these bump out corners are just not fitted, not in fitting with this. However, we do have these rounded corners, and this can actually provide another way here. So this is going to be just simply a reception. This area here is nothing but a reception. Oops. My question is, though, the inside of this is all church stone. My concern is, can I wallpaper this? Because if I can't, we're kind of barking up the wrong tree doing this church stone. Now, considering this is the edge of the property line, I'm thinking another doorway here. Like so. Yeah, so I think out here like a private terrace, a private balcony would be quite a nice addition. So this is my only concern, is the amount of space that I have left is not very much, honestly. Let me just put my torch on. Yes, I mean this alleyway round here, maybe a reception for people checking in, maybe to avoid the riffraff from elsewhere. So that does snap. That's the thing, that is the exterior wall, like that. That doesn't really work, because if we do it, it will just snap this way. Yeah, the outside will be facing in, which we don't want. We kind of want an interior corner. Or we'll have to cap it like so. Just so you know here, all of this is coming completely from improvising. I have literally no plan from this. I'm just simply improvising. That is so weird. Why doesn't that snap? Why not? Why aren't you snapping? If I put in a window, can I then put in the double doors? That is so stupid. Why don't you snap to anything? That is really, really dumb. Why won't you snap? More importantly, why won't you snap the correct way around? Do you see why I hate snapping? Do you see why snapping is the bane of my fucking life in this game? It seriously is the bane of my life. I hate it with a passion in this game. It's the only thing that I don't like about Fallout, is it snapping. Right, if I put in a column, will you indulge me, Fallout? That is the question. Will you indulge me? Yes, you will. Finally. Okay, so this will be like an outside terrace of sorts. We're going to need floors. These are ceilings. Yeah, we don't need those. No, we don't need carpets. Carpets will not be a thing out here. Yeah, we need some kind of nice stone. What does this look like underneath? I mean, you're not really going to see this, so I'm really not sure why I'm concerned with what's underneath. But I don't think that looks smart enough. I quite like this blue. This sort of blue finish. So I'll tell you what, we're going to put these in to create the private terrace. Okay, we're going to have to mess with this a little bit to get it to play ball with us. That's it. Oh, for goodness sake. There you go. Enough struggling. Just do what I tell you. I think this corner can be that one. My god, I'm going to have to do some serious terraforming to make this work. But by god, I'll do it. I will do it. No matter how difficult that becomes, I will do it. But this is the outside terrace. This is a seating area for the rich and famous. Yeah, so back corner. Just thinking, because this is a curve, it's going to need some serious placement here. Yeah, it would need a really heavy, really cool placement to get this out here. So the reason this has taken me a while, as I say, is purely because I am improvising. I have not got a single plan for this, and I'm literally just rolling with it. Roll with it and see how it goes. That is currently my plan. Okay, so if you're on the ground floor, most of the communal resources will be on the ground floor. Now if I just do the same as I did on the other side, this will look cheap and tacky, which we don't want because it's supposed to be the rich house. It's supposed to be a bit rich and foreboding and a bit la-di-da, you know what I mean? So let's create maybe a communal area here so that the poor people can look in and see how worse off they are than the lovely rich fucks who live over here, shall we? After all, we want to create a bit of rivalry. We want to create a bit of poor house, rich house. Yeah, so, you know, you can look in here. I will do a bit of landscaping here. Now, these rocky terrains and all these pieces can actually go because we're now building on it. This is an active building site. Now, these hotel interior tiles I really like, actually. So we're going to use those hotel interior tiles. That's it. Luckily we've got enough concrete to keep this going. Now that's huge. Now these interior tiles are hollow underneath, but my idea is you won't be seeing them. That is an external balcony tile. I could put a few of these outside, but I think these will also be quite effective here. If I can get it to snap the correct way. That's it. So I'm going to put one here. I don't think this is going to work because I've put a pillar on here, and this really screws with the setup. I don't really want to move that either, but I don't just want to continue the wall along because that will look really, really rubbish. Unless I make this an entrance. Yeah, I make this one an entrance, but this is the one that takes you straight to the stairs and the communal area. So when you walk in, you can see just how poor you are compared to the residents that live here. Plus, that creates the jutty out bit of shape that I'm looking for. I'm starting not to like this balcony piece here. Yeah, I don't think this piece is going to be needed. And the reason for that is because if I put balconies out here and build this up a couple of floors, you could basically reach out from here and touch someone. Because the end of this balcony is going to be literally here. So it's almost going to be like a rebuilt, beautiful hotel of kinds. Just thinking if there's uses for some of these other big pieces. But I really don't think there are. I do like these square windows though. These square windows are quite nice. I'm just going to see how much space we can work with here. I think going up to this rock is probably a good place to stop. So if I put in another one like that, and we'll put the columns in at the end of each of the windows. Now I don't really want to destroy this rock face because this is actually quite integral and it is a huge fucking rock face. I get rid of this, I'm going to be landscaping for like an hour and a bit just to get back the shape. But I do also want to stretch the hotel a bit further this way. I mean, there's going to be quite a few suites in here. I mean, I don't like the angle like that. I think it looks a bit too much like the poorhouse, because the poorhouse uses those 45 degrees, and I think it works because this looks very industrial, very rough and ready, very bog standard. I don't want the rich house looking bog standard. But you know what? That is the hour mark. This is the very first steps into the rich house. I want you guys to tell me what you think. Do you like this church stone in relation to this particular place? I do like the alleyway that I've created. I think creating the alleyway is necessary canonically. Because as I say, people will need to go round the building to get to the bar, the public bar. So I think that's quite a good setup. I'm not quite sure about these hotel interior windows, but they'll be nice. You're going to have your little reception area in here. Maybe the receptionist can go out for a smoke in the public area. This is going to be a way onto your own private terrace. If you want to have a smoke and a drink out here, sit with your friends, this will be a place for you. So you can look out over the bay without all the riffraff. This is just another way out. And there's going to be a big communal area here, maybe pool tables and arcade machines or whatever else I can find. Staircase over here, maybe a couple of Minutemen rooms on the far side, maybe a meeting room if we can muster one, and then the second, third and fourth floors, if I do build a fourth, can all be living suites. I mean, it is going to be 4 floors because this room here needs an extra boost to fit the Minuteman police force, because I do feel really sorry about putting 6 in one room, or 7, I can't remember. But it's not good enough putting 7 police officers in one room. So we'll sort that out. But for now, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Tell me what you think of our new law and the shape of this this rich house. I'm really not sure where to go from here, so I think I'm going to have to mess with a few designs off camera. I mean, I could make a basement floor because this terrain is naturally lower. It would mean seriously messing with the terrain, but it could be done. It seriously could be done. That would probably allow us to have a resource area down here somewhere, but I want you guys to tell me what you think, because I'm kind of stuck for ideas here. It's not often I say that, but I am a little bit stuck. Probably because I have too many options. So I'm going to leave that one for you guys to help me with. But until next one, thank you very much for watching. If you have made it all the way to the end, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because you guys, I love you so much. Like, words cannot describe. You guys make making videos even more worth it than it already was. And any support you give me is fantastic. I love it. But until next time, guys, thank you very much. Peace out, take care, and stay safe. Bye-bye. Peace out.